Antioch.
So the disciples were called by the Romans Christians first in Antioch. They didn't call themselves Christians. That is why we don't go by the term Christians. Why? The ultimate meaning for the word Christian means dwarf and utter idiot, dirty or smeared people. So it was a derogatory term for the disciples during that time. That's why the disciples never call themselves that. No, the word Christ in Greek means anointed one, right? But that's just the Greek version of Christ. He wasn't called Christ while he was he walked here. He was called the AHAYAH, which means in English Messiah, the anointed one. You understand me? So that word, when they trick us up and tell us that the word Christian means a Christ follower or a person of Christ, negative. It means dirty, sneered people, short, dwarf. You understand? It was a derogatory term given to our people, to the disciples first. Give me Acts chapter 13, verse 1. And I'm going to show you another reason, right? And even in the Greek, the word Christian leads to the word nigger. Because at one point we showed that they were called Christians, right? Look now what they were called in Jerusalem.
Acts chapter 13, verse 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers.
No, the same place in Antioch rather, not Jerusalem. In Antioch, right? So at first they were called Christians. Now look what's the other term for them in Antioch. Read.
Certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simon.
So Barnabas is a disciple. Simeon, this is Peter, the second in command, the leader of the church, right? Read.
As Barnabas and Simon, that was called Niger at Lucius and Cyrene.
Which was called what?
Was called Niger.
So that Niger, how do we call it today? Nigger. That was what they were called. Why? And if you strongs that word according to the Greek, it means black or from the seed of black. It means black. They were black people. They were being called alias from even them times. Because the Roman were people not of color. They were quote white. They were Europeans. So even in Jerusalem it wasn't Europeans fighting against Europeans. It was Europeans fighting against the children of Israel, dark people. That's just the reality. This is not being racist. This is just nothing but the truth. You understand me? So the reason why I'm going here, this is what the Christian church should be doing, going into history and the true context of the Bible to bring forth edification. They just give you a feel-good doctrine as a brother. If you are a homosexual, if you're a killer, brother, just love Jesus and go under that word. Brother, that's nonsense. Give me Matthew chapter 27, bro. Let me show you what Christ said we are to do. Because before we put anybody in the water, this is what we have to first do. You understand me? Because why? We believe in baptism. Not because we are of any religious basis. Because Christ said it. Christ went under the water. Christ didn't commit any sin, but he was the first to be baptized. Why? Because he's showing an example, a door, a new way. You understand me? This is the true understanding of the scriptures. So check this out now, bro. Yeah, 27. Verse 19. Right? As a matter of fact, 28. 28 is scripture. Verse 19. Read.
Go ye therefore and...
So, sorry my brother. This is Christ giving the 12 disciples a command. Anything comes out of Christ's mouth is law. Read.
Go ye therefore and teach all nations.
And do what?
Teach all nations.
Read.
Baptizing them in the name.
So hold on. Read again from the beginning. So first we hear baptize, right? Look what's supposed to happen before baptism.
Go ye therefore and teach.
And do what?
And teach.
And teach. Christ was a teacher. Christ taught the people before they went into the water. So I can't just listen as what they say in these churches. Come as you are. The Bible never said that. You understand me? Christ said, light has come into the earth, right? But men rather darkness. So if we know by the fall that man rather darkness, if I am in sin and you tell me to come as I am, I will feel comfortable in my sin. Because what is sin? Sin is nothing but transgression of what God says. That's all sin is. That's all it is. Sin is not what we perceive it to be. Sin is what the Most High said, and we going against it. That's all sin is. Transgression of the law. According to 1 John 4, 3 and 4. That's all sin is, bro. So, if the book, according to Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13 says, man shall not lie with man, right? If mankind lie with mankind, as if he lied with a woman, both of them shall be put to death. Mind you, we're not putting people to death, no. Because Christ brings a certain level of grace. So with that grace is a time period for us to get it right. So in that time, you getting it right, that act needs to put on fall forever. And then you become a changed person. After you have learned the doctrine, then you go under the water. Because the decision is yours to make. So this is the true context of the scripture. And it's 100% correct for us to know what the Most High require of us. Like, that's what I said, bro. This book this answers, right? Every question you might have in this confused world. This book, it was written all along, brother. Let me show you something real quick. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6. Let me show you something, brother. And then get Deuteronomy 10 and 12. This is what? The book. This is the word of the Most High coming forth. Christ was from the Old Testament. As a matter of fact, we can find Christ more in the Old Testament than when he walked the earth. Because all the prophets, all of them, wrote about him. Wrote about a Savior coming in the earth, delivering God's people, which is us. Because out of everybody on the face of this earth, we, as you can see, bro, need saving. We don't own nothing. We pay them. Listen, this country alone was built off the blood, sweat, and tears and exploitation of God's people. We came here in shackles and chains. This is a curse for our people. So we cannot look for redemption, freedom, rights, justice, and truth in a system, a society built on lies and death and bloodshed. It's nonsense. Check this out now, bro. Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
For thou art an holy people.
For thou art holy people. So we are, holy means to be clean, made separate. Holy. A separate people from the nations. Read.
Unto the Lord thy God.
Why? Because the other nation round about Israel were worshipping other gods. But the Most High God said, listen, you are mine. You are going to teach the whole earth how to serve me, starting with you first. This is the beginning of sin, right? Coming out of the earth, and the Most High made a covenant with mankind, starting with the root, Abraham. Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee.
So yes, the Most High choose. A lot of people have a problem with that, but check it out. How can the Most High make a being more superior than himself? So he made you with the ability to choose, but he can't? That doesn't make sense, sir. You understand? Read.
The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself.
Unto him what?
Unto himself.
Unto himself. Read.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Check this out, bro. We are rightfully above everybody else on the face of the earth. That's just the reality. Even in our sin, other people want to be like us. Even in our sin, bro. You understand me? The white want to be black. If we put on the cap with the baseball bat, everybody on the earth do it. We set the trend of the earth. That's just the reality, bro. You have someone black in the park, it's good, according to the other nation, but they will not tell you that we are special people, and they know. But before everybody, right, we are a special people unto the Most High. But we went wrong. It was because you have Egyptology. A next example, you have Egyptology. You have Pan-Africanism. you have all these other black groups out there that will just expound on black people's greatness. Okay then, cool. Break it down for me real quick. If we are so great, why are we in this condition? If we are so great, show me where we fall to this level. It only makes sense because, check it out, bro. Right now, we're not great. On a scale from 1 to 10, bro, where would you put our people? We at the what, bro?
At the bottom.
At the bottom. That's big, bro. You are like the first person I've asked without optimism, without saying, well, I'll say 7. Nah, bro, listen. We're not even on the scale, brother. You understand? We're not even on the scale. So, we at the bottom right now. So if we were so great, how did we reach this point? How? I'm going to show you how, my brother. Listen, the Bible have all the answers, and I'm purposely bringing you back to it. If there's any confusion, to say, listen, I don't trust that book, because why? What the enemy did, I'm not just saying the white man this, because the white man couldn't do anything if we were with our God. The other nations couldn't touch us, bro, if we had listened to our Maker. You understand? We went wrong. So the fingers supposed to be pointed at us before it be pointed on anyone else. Period. Because we went against our God. Therefore our God said, okay then, you don't want my protection, my love? Go to your lovers. Let's see how good you do with them when you decide to leave me. This is the understanding of what we did. We went against our edge, our protection. So yes.
Deuteronomy chapter 10 verse 12. And now, Israel, what doeth the Lord thy God require of thee?
So this is what the Most High asked us. Moses, right, commanding the people, telling them to listen, Israel, what doeth the Most High require of thee?
But to fear the Lord thy God.
Or to fear him. Now to fear him is a lot of respect. And when it says fear, it means literally fear him. Because why? That fear will instill you being obedient to his laws, because you will know that if you don't follow it, there's a judgment. Listen, bro, that's just what it is, man. Because if you own a house and your kids reach an age where they can go on their own, but you still allow them in it, if they act like they want to forget all your greatness, all you did for them to get them in this house, if they want to cut your throat, what are you going to do? Kick them out. You understand? So this is the same principle with the Most High. He planted us in the garden. If we want to shoot thorn and not grapes and not fruit, he's going to weed us out, which he did. So check this out. This is what he required of us. This was all he wanted from us, bro. He gave us everything: land, food, godhood. When I say godhood, I mean other nations feared us and reverenced us, almost like gods, bro. All I'm saying when I say God, ruler, judge within the earth. We were the right judge in the earth. You understand? We had power in the earth. So and all he required when he gave us that was what?
To fear the Most High thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve the Lord thy God with all thine heart and with all thy soul. Verse 13. To keep the commandments.
To do what?
To keep the commandments.
That's the point right there. To keep, just listen, with all the greatness I'm giving you, just do what I say. Just do what I say. That's it, bro. That's all we have to do. Listen, if we had followed him, we would be on the scale way up. Way up, brother. Way up. Now we're not even on it, bro, to compete with. But check it out, even in this state, if you notice, I've said it earlier, you still see some similitude, a lot of similitude of people trying to be like us. Come on, man. Dude.
They want to emulate.
Right.
You know, but they don't want to love them.
But come on.
They love to be like us. But they don't
I'm straight.
And I always say to my people, that's a good point. I always be like, listen, everybody know who you are but you. Everybody want to be like you but you. You want to be like him. Listen, the Most High said, you are separate from all the other ones. That's just the truth. And because once we come to realize our greatness within the scriptures, you know what they call it now? Oh, you're racist. Oh, you think you're better than us? Well, the Most High said it. He said it. He said we are greater. We have a reference point from the God of all gods. Listen, I love to squeeze that joint in. Plug that right there. You understand me? Why? Because it shows them that, listen, we are not alone. We just need to go back to the God we left. And once that happens, the world will be a better place. Because why? Give me Proverbs 29, bro. Verse 2. This is why when we come back to our God, the Bible tells in Isaiah the 2nd chapter and the 4th verse that when the true Israel go back in the land, the world will study war no more. Right.
What was it about? Who was this guy? This gentleman who said when the Jews came. Okay, yeah, when the Jews came back to Jerusalem, he didn't accept them because he said, you left black, but you came back white.
I forgot, it was an ambassador for Egypt.
I think it was Egypt.
Yeah. Yes, it might be Egypt. It was an ambassador for one of the Middle Eastern countries. He said it. He pointed out, like, listen, you all ain't the people. You left Jerusalem black and came back white. Oh, listen, I think it's the winter. I think it's the harsh cold. Listen, cut the crap. I know white people live in Africa for years and stayed white. Black people living in Eskimo and stayed black. Don't come with that stuff. That's for the ignorant. You understand me? So, going back where I was coming from, this book, one of the fastest ways to get our people to accept this book is to let them see themselves in the book. Then now when they begin to see that, it will start with meaning and life and a certain level of rejuvenation to the words written of it. Because a lot of our people think carnally, right? We're going to hit it. A lot of our people think carnally. Listen, I see a lot of thee and thou and art. That sounds European. Nah, that's a minuscule way of thinking. You understand? Listen, just read it. Just read the book, and you will see that. Listen, the people of this book, first thing, they were of color. The so-called white man. And listen, we don't have anything against white people. You understand? If any white person speak truth, listen, I'm down with that. You understand? We're not like the other guys. Listen, white man is the devil. The Bible speak about you're gonna hell. Nah, bro. Nah.
I mean, I always kind of had this mentality, like, this is something that I said, and please, brother, correct me if I'm wrong, but as people of color, or at least for myself personally, I judge individuals, but the white race as a whole, because of what they've done. I don't respect the white race, but I can meet individuals and not have a problem with them.
That's a good start. That's a good start, bro. That's actually a good start. Why? Because we don't, by you doing that, you don't broad brush everyone in their forefathers' mistakes.
Because no one fits in the
Right. You understand? That's a good way to look at it. I have to be honest. It's 95% of looking at it from a correct standpoint, so to speak. So you're in good case. You understand? You're in good cases because of that you are able to accept anyone who comes to truth. Anyone, we beat the white man, the yellow one. And if there's any other color, brother, let me know. You understand? You understand? Once they are willing to say, listen, bro, originally I'm from Jamaica, right? We were street preaching at a Texaco gas station. Me and the elder and a couple brothers. And the elder was on the mic. speaking, and a white woman saw us from across the street, came over and said to us, listen, I know you people are the true people of the Bible. Bro, she said it to us. And then right after she said it, she said, will you teach me? And when she said it, bro, my heart crushed. I was like, bro, I had to stop reading. I was like, whoa, because I was reading for I was like, whoa, wow.
Cut you off guard.
Because I was expecting she to just stay there and just listen and be like, and what you understand, but she didn't, bro. She had her head covered, she was in a dress, she was well modest, and said to us in true humility, you are the people of the Bible, just teach me. And when she said it, bro, I mean, real quick, bro, right? Get me Jeremiah, the 16th chapter, start at the 19th verse. This is what came to mind, bro. Every event that happens on the earth, this book has an answer to. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19. Come on.
O Lord, my strength and my fortress, and my refuge in the day of my affliction.
Check this out real quick. Any nation outside of the children of Israel is called Gentile. Heathen. These are all the names used for a nation outside of the 12 tribes. So the Moses is saying there will be people from the other nations that will do what? Read.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth.
So mind you, bro, we're in Jamaica. She's from Sweden. She's from the other end of the earth. Bro, this is a scripture that came to mind when she said it. Read.
The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth.
Shall come from the ends of the earth and say what?
And shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies.
Surely our father said we were the people and not you. Our father said, listen, all the benefits of this earth, they will get it. We are the Israelis. Listen, you are a hypocrite. You understand? The true Israelites is in captivity according to the scriptures. The Bible never said the children of Israel will be ruling in the land in the last days. That would be going again. The Most High would be a hypocrite then. And I know the Most High ain't. You understand me? So the Gentiles will come from far. So listen, our fathers have inherited. Our fathers told us lies, bro. You are the people. This is prophecy, now, bro. Read. I've lived to see this. Read.
Surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
So all the cars, all the bunks, all this that they own, bro. Listen, this is no profit. This is not the promise of Christ. All these are vanity. Vanity is nothingness. Vain, vague, nothing. Read.
Verse 20. Shall a man make gods unto himself?
So yeah, that's it right there. So the Gentiles will come. So anyone out there saying, listen, only black people will make it into the kingdom to come, is error according to scripture. The Bible never said that. This is not a blackity black movement. This is a movement of truth. So anyone comes with truth, I'll stand with that person. That person can stand right beside me. And any of my brothers. Because the person stands for truth, regardless of his ethnic group or background. But again, we are the people of the scripture. Let's show you when we're going around now. What did you try in chapter 20? Real quick. Yeah, 27 and 1. My brother, lock and load.
And Moses with the elders of Israel.
The elders of who?
Of Israel.
The Most High was speaking to the children of Israel. So in a nutshell, we're going to find out who are the children of Israel. Read.
Commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. And it shall be on the day when ye shall pass over Jordan.
So keep all the commandments which I command you this day, right? Jump to verse 20 here. Start at the first verse.
Verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations.
So the Most High will set us on high above all nations. Top of the scale again, right? So he will set us on high above all nations of the earth. Why? Because we are a special people unto him. So he's going to use us to teach the world. Jump now to verse 15.
But it shall come to pass,
Shall, future tense, see?
but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken diligently unto the voice, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Now, check this out, brother, because I'm not up for the curses. But check it out. In order for us to identify by process of elimination who is the people, we have to go through the curses. Because the curses identify who the people are. You understand me? Read the first curse.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
The Bible says, curse shall thou be in the city. Brother, majority of the areas where our people live, man, that's a curse. There's a G word for it. The ghetto. That's where our people reside. That's a curse, man. For our people. Curse shall thou be in the city. Cops gonna see you and say, look, we see a live dead body. Let's put it 6 feet under. Pow! And shoot our people down, man. That's a curse. You walk out of your house, you don't know if you're gonna come back alive. You understand? That's a curse. Cursed shall thou be in the city. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Why it says curse in the field? Because according to the old way, right? In order for your wealth is predicated on how you can feed yourself. So the more goats, lamb, bullocks you have, you're wealthy. You're not wealthy because you have some green paper in a bank somewhere. That's not wealth. To reach the zenith or the highest point of wealth is livestock. So the more we have that, we can feed ourselves. So, you understand? And clothe ourselves. So if you don't have that, that's a curse. Curse shall thou be in the field. So our crops is what we would use to feed ourselves. Because our forefathers were husbandmen, they were farmers. But now in America, you have to go to learn about it. Back in the old days, it was not so. You were born doing it, but they've taken away this survival mechanism from our people so we can relate to them for food, shelter, and raiment. That's a strategic battle against our people, and we don't even know it. Put our people in the middle of nowhere and say survive. Back in the Old Testament, we would survive. Because we were in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness and we lived for 40 years. I mean, how many of us can do that now, bro? Read. As a matter of fact, jump. Give me about verse. As a matter of fact, you know what? Let's do something great. Let's use this bigger one, right? Real quick. So that we can run through it. It's a lot bigger. Deuteronomy 28. Let's get some more of these curses. My brother, have you watched the slave show Roots? A long time ago. Well, let's flick back some of the memories, right? Let's take you down memory lane. Roots, slavery lane we're going right now. Then we bring it up to Christ. Real quick in a nutshell. 28, right? Chapter 28. And there's a few highlighted places, right? Now check this out, my brother. Let's get read verse 60. As a matter of fact, first, read verse 65.
And among the nations,
And among these nations, why? Because as a matter of fact, jump at verse 64.
64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
So this is how we left Jerusalem. Now we're scattered among all people according to prophecy, showing you that the people in the land today cannot stay claim to being the true Israelites according to bloodline. It was a political move rather than a religious one why they're there. Because they got that land through politics and much war and bloodshed. That's how they, and also through propaganda. Saying they were being targeted, we were being killed, 6 million of us died, when there wasn't even 6 million in your region. So how did 6 million die? Thou shalt serve other gods. Our people is in Christianity worshiping the devil. They're in Islam worshiping the devil. They're in Jehovah's Witnesses worshiping the devil. All these religions serve one God, the devil. And listen, bro, I have to talk it as it is to wake our people up, man. There ye shall serve other gods. Christianity has the what? The cross. That's an idol that they came over Europe with, bearing on the ships. Hey, we will give you your God. We'll give you Christianity, and pushing the cross in our face, bro. Allowing us to only worship on Sunday. That's the sun God, not the S-O-N, the S-U-N, the sun in the sky. You understand that the Egyptians call Ra, the sun God, or whatever they want to call it. You understand me? That's Christianity for you. And Islam, that Kaaba stone, brother, saying that's the intercessor to God. The God don't need a rock. The true intercessor is Christ. You understand? Other gods, wood and stone. Read.
Which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Why? Our fathers didn't know a rock worshiping God. They didn't know Allah. They didn't know Jehovah. They didn't know these gods. Read.
Even wood and stone.
Even wood and stone. Christianity, which is the wood, and the stone, Islam. Read.
And among these nations thou shalt find no ease.
So we shall have no ease among these nations. Brother, you will work till you die, or you will work, get old, probably live off pension. Tell your child, listen, you need to get an education. Your child grow and work, probably live on pension. Do the same thing over and over and get spit out like some old battery. You will have no ease among the nation. Why? Because the gift that's in you to build your kingdom, they're using it to build theirs. This is how the system works. It was built off us. Because while we were in slavery, we were the livestock working in the farm. This is how they in turn build the stock market. This is all that, you understand? Brother, the devil always strikes, huh? Meaning, the word is coming out, and then you have some loud music. I'll speak even louder. You understand? So check this out, brother. Read.
Neither shall thy sole of thy foot have rest.
Even, so we will always be on our foot, brother, working, plowing, working. We will always be working. Our foot shall have no rest. Why? This is not our kingdom. Read.
Neither shall thy sole of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
So why do we have a trembling heart? And it says the Most High do it. Why? Because we went against him. Now this trembling heart, right, is the fear of these polices trying to shoot you down. The fear, right, to be locked up in prison. The fear of losing your life. Read.
And failing of the eyes and sorrow of mind.
Sorrow of mind. Depressed, worried. Where's the next bread? How am I going to take care of my family? And what does this resort to? Anger, frustration, and all of that. Leading you in a confused state. Yeah, God's people are supposed to stay there. They should never know that they're the true people, bloodline of the Bible. They should never know that. So what if they bombard us with work? Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt.
Thy life shall hang in doubt. I don't think I'm going to make it today, man. I can't survive this day. This is our mindset going forward. We don't think that we can survive in this earth based on the unleveled society, on a wicked and evil capitalistic society that only feeds on money that they reap off us. This is the system we're living in. That's why when Barack Obama went into power, he didn't do anything for his people, because who voted for him to go in? Their tax money is not paying him. He's being paid by Zionists. So that's why when he get in power, he became a hypocrite and did not fulfill nothing he said. I'm not against Obama. I'm just speaking the truth. You understand? Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shalt have none assurance of life.
None assurance of our life. This happened also under the Jim Crow law. During that time, brother, our people thought, listen, they will be wiped off the planet. Brother, this is prophecy, man. We were like the bullseye. Public enemy number one for the devil. With a target on our backs, man. Prophecy. The Bible answers it all. All our people had to do was to open the book and read it. But the Most High never take the truth out of the earth. His presence never left the earth because his book was intact. Read.
Verse 67. In the morning thou shalt say.
Listen to this part, my brother. When I read this happened to me. Read.
Would God it were even, and at even thou shalt say, would God it were morning, for the fear of thine heart.
For the fear of thine heart. Listen, I want the next day to come quick. We need to be out of this condition. You understand me? With God it was even. Listen, it's there. Listen, you can't wait for night. You can't wait for the next day. Why? You want to be free from this condition, this type of lifestyle. This happened to all of us. Read.
For the fear of thine heart wherewith thou shalt fear, and for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see.
Our people see we see our own people being shot and killed day by day. Day in, day out. Read.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall scatter thee.
Listen to this part now, brother. So earlier it says in the 64th. Read this. Let's precept something. Read the 64th verse again.
And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So we need to ask a question here. If our people originally from the Middle East and supposed to be the true people of that land they call Israel, how did we get scattered all over the earth? The Most High didn't pick us up and throw us. You understand? Let's see how. Finish the 64th verse. So that's it. Jump to the 68th verse now. Read.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
This is how we were scattered. We came over here with some ships. Brother, this is Bible prophecy. This was written, bro, almost 2,000 years before the Messiah. I might be off, but you understand. This was written years before it was fulfilled. So hold up now. Read it again from the top.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now the word Egypt there only means bondage. Right? Because why? There's no historical reference to show that our people went back into physical Egypt by the means of ships. There's no history that states that. So the word Egypt here in its proper context means bondage. Because even if you read 13 and 3 and Exodus 20, you will see that, listen. As a matter of fact, read it. Let's bring forth the edification.
And it says, and Moses said unto the people, remember this day in which ye came out from Egypt.
Out of Egypt. So this is what Egypt means now. Read.
Out of the house of bondage.
Why? Because our people was in that land serving hard bondage. This is why it got the name Egypt. That's all it means. When the Greeks went over there and saw the condition, they said, listen, hard bondage, Egypt. That's what it means. So we shall be scattered again into bondage with what?
With ships.
With cargo slave ships. The transatlantic slave trade. That's how we get over to the west. Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
So listen, we are not going to see our land again after this. During this time, when we are scattered. It's going to be a very long time. And this also means, listen, this is the last captivity you people will serve. Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And there we are going to be sold in auction blocks. And these ships were owned by Jewish people. Moses, Mr. Levi, all them brothers Jewish. You understand? All these men own the ships and the docks that are, and the auction blocks our people were sold on. Jewish people. So how can Jewish people be the people of the land when they were the people who sold the children of Israel in these particular areas? How? You will never be empowered to sell anyone. You understand? Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for a bondman.
That's a slave man.
And a bondwoman.
And a slave woman. Read.
And no man shall buy you.
That buy only means, listen, no one will redeem you from this bondage. That's why when Martin Luther King came up, he fell. Malcolm X came up, he fell. Farrakhan is doing something and I still don't see no difference. Right, because no man shall save you out of this. You have to come back to me. No man shall get you out of this. The only man that's gonna do it is Christ. And we're gonna get him in a bit. So when it say no man shall buy you, some people want to say, listen, but it says no man shall buy you, so we cannot be talking about slavery. Well, earlier it said you were sold. So if we were sold, we were bought. That buy only means to redeem. No one will look at you and say, listen, on these auction blocks, hey, listen, we're selling the children of Israel. They rather say, listen, we're selling niggas. You understand? So with that said, my brother, right? Read just a few more, right? Read verse 46. Straight down to 47, and then we jump. Read.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So these curses, right, that we're reading about, shall be upon our people for a sign. That means, when you see the curses on them people, these are the children of Israel, the children of Jacob, the children of God. Read.
For a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed,
and upon thy seed forever. To them presently, it's going to be even on your seed. So your sins will fall on the children. Your scattered, your children will be born in these particular curses. But if they come back, if they shall think to bethink themselves, that means if we come back and we will say, listen, we sinned against our God and we need to come back to him, which is what you're seeing now. Brothers, niggas coming back to the scriptures. Brother, that's prophecy written up in Leviticus the 26th chapter, 47th verse. But before we even go there, finish it. Verse 47.
Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God.
Because you didn't serve the Most High God. Read.
With joyfulness and gladness of heart. And for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
Therefore, listen, you're going to serve your enemies. Read.
Which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger.
When we were on them auction blocks, man, we were hungry. Even in Babylon, amongst our enemies. Listen, brother, if you want food, you have to go to these supermarkets that your people don't own. The nations own it. If you want clothes, you got to go to Walmart. You got to go to, name some of them stores, man.
Expressions. We got Hip Zeppy, right? We got
Pink.
Target. We got Mad Rags. We got, come on.
You understand me? All of these places ain't owned by any nigga.
Melted pot.
You understand? You want water. Listen, you're going to have to go to the other nations for that. Read. So
in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things.
So all these things, food, shelter, raiment, your enemies will give it to you.
Read it. And he shall put a yoke of iron.
Pull up the yoke of iron, my brother. And he shall put a yoke of iron, right, upon thy neck. Here's another one. I mean, you can put it up on your phone. Type in, brother, type in yoke of iron. You understand me? YOKEOFIRON. Yoke of iron. Upon thy neck. Listen, them iron was not in Jewish guy. Them Jewish cats was living in luxury, man. Still living off our blood, sweat, and tears. Yoke of iron, shackles and chains. Brother, all I'm seeing right here is wool, black skin. Brother, there's some niggas.
Hey, pull up the picture with the guy with the long yokes and off the side that says TV Zone.
You understand? Yoke of iron. Read.
Put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Until he have destroyed thee. Know that destroy, right? Means to mentally destroy the people. That's a real picture. Slaves. Sold, right? To be sold. Right there. Slaves. Even on the bill of sale, bro, was Negroes on it. Negroes. So this is Bible prophecy. Have any preacher done this, my brother, in these churches?
No.
Yes. The real bill of sale, right? For the hire of Nick, brother, send that to me, okay? Praise the Most High. So, brother, this right here, this is the word of the Most High. This is what we should come back to. Recognizing, not looking at this to hate on the other nations, but looking on this to clean ourselves up. That's the true correction. Not blaming the belt for your mistake. That belt was used for you to correct yourself. You understand? That's all it was. The Most High gave the nations power over us based on our actions against Him. This is the only way we should look at it. And once we look at it that way, that's the beginning phase of us coming back to Him. That's right, man.
You always look still from the exterior, not in the interior.
Right. Exactly. Why? We were trained that way to blame each other, to judge each other, not judging ourselves.
But the weird part, I always knew I kind of had something with me because anytime I went through any problem, I would always look to self first. Right. What could I have done different? Not because you can only control you. You can't control any other entity. So I always try to look to inner self first.
Brother, right. So I mean, once you are like that, once you bring the biblical understanding to it, everything will start to make sense. You will say, man, I knew we were the people. I knew we were special people based on our struggles. No one suffers like us. No one on this earth suffers like the children of God. No history more brutal and cruel than what God's people went through. None. Brother, I need you to give me 10,000 white folks that went on them ships. I don't need a million. Just give me 10,000. You can't find that in history. 10,000 Chinese, brother. Arabs. The Arabian slave trade was so brutal, bro. After we would finish work, they will cut off. They will turn us into eunuchs. They will cut off our stones, our privy ear, cut it off. It was even more brutal than the so-called white man. Here. But check this out. It's a correcting mechanism for our people. That's all the Most High did, because these sufferings were for the correction of us today. But check this out, right? Get me Luke chapter 21, verse 20 to 21. And I'm going to leave you with Christ, right? Because everything that I've given you, 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 everything that I've given I didn't brought out the true Savior to bring us back to the Father. Christ was that example. You understand me? Christ was the physical example. The Most High sent into the earth and said, listen, follow this brother, follow my son. Because he is the intercessor, the mediator. He mediates on our behalf to the Father. You understand me? So check this out. This is Christ saying the same thing we read in the book of Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Read.
And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh.
And these are our people in the land of Israel. He's saying when you see the Romans starting to police your area, the destruction of this place is near. You need to run. Read.
Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains.
Now these mountain areas, right, is what we call today Africa. Because if you look on a map, the land of Israel is linked to West Africa coming down, right? So he's telling our people to run west, run into the wilderness, run into that land we call today Africa. Why? Because you can't run north. If you go north, you're going into the enemy. So flee to the wilderness. Read.
Then let them which are in Judea flee into the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out.
So let them who is in the midst of Jerusalem, the midst of this land, run out. Read.
And let not them that are in the country enter thereinto.
Any Israelite that hear about the destruction in Jerusalem, tell them don't come here. It's destroyed. It's taken over. Read.
For these be the days of vengeance.
For these be the days of vengeance. The Roman taking vengeance on our people. Because they said according to history that Nero burned 7 to 8 blocks of Rome, Italy, and blame it on the children of Israel. Just like all right, they collapsed the Twin Tower and blame it on Arabs. Listen, they play the same trick over. Satan does nothing different than they make their move through much propaganda. That's how they do it. They need to trick the mass so that the public can back them in taking over. They trick the mass to make their move. This is what they did. And this act also was completed in 70 AD when the Romans slaughtered our people. So check this out now, bro. Read.
For these are the days of vengeance, that our things which are written may be fulfilled.
The things which are written may be fulfilled. Now what was written? The curses, listen. You have to be scattered. That's what Christ was telling them. You have to fulfill everything that was written in Deuteronomy 28 chapter. The kingdom is not yet. Yes, it's near, but it's not yet. It's not yet. I have to die. You understand? You have to be scattered. Read.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
Woe unto them that are with child, and who give suck in those days. Why? You are going to eat them children. This was prophesied from Deuteronomy. Even. Because if you read, right? In Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 51. He prophesied that we will begin to eat our children, right? And if in Isaiah 29, 1 and 4, Isaiah prophesied that we would do the same. And in Luke 19:41, Christ told us that, listen, the vengeance that's gonna be on us is gonna be so sore. There will be no food coming in, no food going out. So our people began in 70 AD. The mothers started to have an evil eye against the nest of her loved ones. So if she have a child that came out of her womb, that child, she's looking at that child like dinner. Why? Because there's no food coming in. The Romans totally subdued. So our people started cannibalize each other. This is the evil that they did on our people, bro. Christ prophesied it. Read.
But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land and wrath upon this people.
See, great distress and wrath upon them. Because right after they built that trench for 7 years and our people got weak, eating and killing each other, right then now they came in and started to slaughter everyone. This is what Christ is saying. Read.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword.
And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. War, bloodshed. Read.
And shall be led away captive.
And shall be led away captive, like Deuteronomy 28. Read.
Into all nations.
Into all nations. So Christ said it. So anyone Christian, hey, what you read in Deuteronomy is just the Old Testament. Well, guess what? This is the New Testament. Christ himself, the one you claim you follow, is telling you. He's repeating history, what happened to our people, showing us that we are the people. We went through this. No other people. We are the people of the Bible. We are the people of that vine, which is Christ. We are the branches, so we have to bring forth fruit. So when Christ returns, he can say, "Good, you're a good servant. I gave you 1 talent. You go multiply that into 5, and brought 10 people to the truth. You brought 1 people to the truth." So, with that said, give me John 14 and 6, real quick. Christ is the way, bro. Christ gave us the prophecies written up in the Old Testament. As a matter of fact, hold it. Go back to Luke. There's the last piece of Omar Bruno.
So picking up out of 24. You want me to finish 24? And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. So the people in Jerusalem, who he's talking about, the Gentiles, which are the heathenistic nations, are the modern day Europeans. The Gentiles are the ones in the land currently today. We're not. So what it's saying is, when our people leave, who goes in Jerusalem and claim to be the people? The Gentiles, the heathens, right? Currently in Jerusalem, there's all kind of foul and abominable things going on. It's the head of it's like the capital of gay people over there in Tel Aviv, right? There's more war and more destruction happening in what's supposed to be the Holy Land than any other place on the earth right now over there. And it shall be what? Read it again.
And it shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled.
Until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled, until they're out of the land. So they will conquer the land, be in the land for a time, and then their rulership will end. And who's up? Go ahead, read.
And then,
No, that's it. So Christ is fulfilling what I just read in Deuteronomy. Us being led away captive, right? So like he said, I'm going to just reiterate it again. If any Christian comes to you and tries to say that the Israelites are done away with, that Christ talked about us. Christ prophesied it after the prophets did what would happen to us. So read 61 and 1 real quick. So this is why we out here.
the Spirit of the Lord, the Most High, is upon me, because the Most High had anointed me to preach good tidings.
Hold on. So the Most High hath anointed us to come out here and preach to our people, man. Right? Because it's time, we in the end times, and it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to come back to our true origin, our heritage, adopt back the culture that he gave us, because right now we don't have a heritage. I'm an African American, right? So called, right? We don't have we eat fried chicken and cornbread and collard greens. That's our heritage, right? We don't have we looking to everyone else to try to find out who we are, when the whole time it's us here. So he's anointed us. We took time out to study in depth, right? Many of us brothers come from many different backgrounds and religions, right? And we realized that was steering us wrong, right? For a time, I even put the book down, like, man, I can't get it, because I never applied what I was going through to what the Bible was saying, because the whole time they're saying it's them. So now I'm looking at it like, well, white people, they is smarter than me. Oh, they got more money. They must be doing something right. So this is their book. Let me find. And then it's like, it just, right?
As far as you saying that being their book, I already knew that was a lie from the jump.
You was ahead of me.
I'm a little bit, because,
Right.
I mean, common sense will tell you. Jesus came from the area of the world that he did. There's no way he was white. So the fact that they tried to have me believe through imagery that, not only Jesus, but the disciples and everyone else was white, I already knew that was, no, this ain't right.
Wasn't right. And the whole time it's been in the Bible and nobody's been reading it. That's a conspiracy in itself.
Unfortunately, Christianity, they even have studies. The majority of so-called Christians don't even read the Bible.
Exactly. Taught by the theologian school that they have how can I describe it? They have created this doctrine and they force feed everyone who gets a 501c3 to teach according to their doctrine. So now they're controlling the thought and the understanding of the Bible according to them. Because they're considered to be the smartest people on earth. So how you can't read that. You're not smart enough to read that, to understand that it's you. So you know what? The Most High has chose some of the fools of the earth, some of the lowly people, some of the most considered uneducated people to come out here and read out this book. I barely graduated from high school, right? You understand what I'm saying? Right? But there's a level of understanding that we have that's different than some of the people who got this $100,000 jobs, right?
Because I always felt like education, as far as, and then the education that's given to us isn't even for us.
Right. It's not real. Right. It's created to keep you controlled, to keep you asleep, to keep you not knowing who you are, to keep you destroyed and in the same mundane condition because they got control over you. When you don't have any self-worth, any understanding of yourself, any history, then I don't have anything to uphold. So now I just got to follow what you tell me, right? And believe whatever you tell me. Well, now the Most High is breaking the bonds and he's sending some of the most uneducated people to the world to reteach his people. Because, believe it or not, this is above me. Yes, I've read it. Yes, I understand it. But listen, I'm not wise enough to make you think that a man, right? The Most High has anointed. That's what I was going to read, right? He anointed us to get this understanding to teach our people, so you could believe in him over me, right? So that's why we're here. That's why we're here trying to wake our people up at 11 o'clock at night, no matter what it takes, man. Even if that means it's just you, right? That's why we're here, man. And we welcome you to come and continue to sit and learn. Like, this is what we tell everyone. Come sit and learn and hear the whole matter. And then you go back and you put it with everything else you learned and you weigh it. Because what we do is we teach people to be leaders, to lead others to be leaders. We're not man over nobody, right? But we're going to lead you to become a leader, to lead others in righteousness. Because we all going to leave this body, man. And we all going to go somewhere. And all of our deeds and actions will be judged, right? And we want to see you on that side, man. Yeah, because, go ahead.
Question for you, just out of curiosity. Now, you brothers do you have other people
So there are several churches around the country. There are 21 churches, about 20 churches around the country. Yep. Yes, there is in Atlanta. We do have a church in Atlanta. Absolutely.
The reason why I asked that is because I'm potentially
moving to Atlanta? Come. Yeah, our elders are teaching in Atlanta now. For sure. Absolutely.
Our history didn't start with slavery.
And it's the greatest history, right? The history didn't start with slavery. That's what they want you to think and believe. But we got the greatest history right here. And it's been in front of us the whole time. That's the craziest thing, right? Right? And get 61 real quick. Finish Isaiah 61, right? I'll leave the brother with that. And then Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, 12 and 12. Go ahead. We're going to finish what I was saying.
And he has appointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
Preach good tidings unto the meek, the low of the earth. To raise up the low of the earth for them to understand this word, this doctrine, this understanding. Okay? Go ahead.
And he has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted.
We're here to bind up those who have been broken, man. Our people walking around here drug addicted. Our people walking around here alcohol peeing on themselves. We're here to bind up the brokenhearted and give them that substance that they lost. Fill them with that void of the Most High that they've lost. Because that void that they're filling the drug and the alcohol with is the understanding of who their God is and what their purpose is. And to live righteously. We walking around here asleep in broad daylight. Right? High in broad daylight. Us, man. Or selling the drugs to our own people. Right? We all victims of it. We all did it. Not condemning our own, but we did it. Now we're here to relieve our people of it because we don't got to do it anymore. We could grow our own food. We could have our own clothes. So we no longer have, with the Most High as our protection, we could do it all over again, man. And we can get back on the path. Go ahead.
To proclaim liberty to the captive.
This is freedom right here. We're captive in this society. We got to go to, you don't pay your bills, you get kicked out. Right? You don't pay your car note, you get kicked out. You don't go to work, you a bum. Right? This is the liberty to the captives that we need. To learn how to work together once again. To come back, unity amongst our brother, amongst our family. And read this understanding and start to serve the Most High again. Go ahead.
And the opening of the prison to them that are bound.
Who's in jail? Who's in prison? More than any other people. We're 13% of the population, but we're 59% of the people in jail. That's ridiculous. So right. Come on. Right. Doesn't make sense. This is the freedom, man. They've created an institution that traps and snares our people because there's a law that states that if you under some criminal action, you can be sold. How can I describe? Basically, the prison industry sells the inmates as free labor to the country, to the state. So you are property of the state now to work and to clean the roads and to clean to make Victoria's Secret is made in prison. License plates are made in prison. Sneakers are made in prison. So our people are making the merchandise that this country thrives off of in prison. Who they need? They want the Negroes to continue to, because they know we do it the best. They know even in captivity, the Most High still loves us, man. That father that's still sending some money in the canteen, that's the Most High. We're still the most special people upon the face of the earth, and they know it. Now it's time for us to know it. That's all I got on that. Yo, go ahead.
I'm just gonna keep on right here. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall?
Have we stumbled that we should fall? So we trip, you stumble, but are we gonna fall? Go ahead.
God forbid.
Most High says no. So we may stumble, but we not gonna fall. Right? Go ahead.
Through the fall, salvation has come into the Gentiles.
So through our fall, right? Through us tripping, salvation has come to the Gentiles, meaning the other nations have got prosperity. The other nations have become rich. The other nations have control and power over this earth. Go ahead.
To provoke them to jealousy.
To provoke what?
To provoke them to jealousy.
Them is us. So we see all these other nations driving what we should be driving, right? Living how we should be living. Got all the stores. Listen, Asians is selling our women hair, man. The Asian is selling us our earrings, man. The Asians are selling us our jewelry, man. Right? The Arabs are selling our people jewelry and fried chicken. Who make better fried chicken than us, man? They own it up. Come on, man. Well, so through our fall, the salvation has come to all the other nations. And they come right to the ghetto and take our little mini pay. And then they drive around these streets in all these fancy cars, and we like, what are we doing wrong? Look, what are we doing? I cannot. Okay, go ahead.
Now if the fall of them be the riches of the world,
If the fall of us be the riches of the world, because you know we're the most influential people in the earth is rich and fat because of us. Okay, go ahead.
and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles,
And the diminishing of what? Say it again.
and the diminishing of them the riches of the Gentiles, how much more their fullness? For I speak unto the Gentiles inasmuch, for I am an apostle of the Gentiles. I magnify mine office.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Wow. So who else could this be talking about and discussing? Us, right? So with that, man, I don't want to keep bombarding. We can go all night, man. We can go all night on this topic, man. You know. If I could give me Exodus 3 and 14 and 3 and 14. Right. So this is what I want to leave you with, man, because we've been deceived in this earth to call on another name, man. And we've been wondering why we can't hear, why we're not being helped, right? Matter of fact, hold that and give me Isaiah 59 as well, real quick. Because I was discussing earlier of the Most High is hearing us, but He's not hearing us, right? Give me 59 and 2. Yeah, I believe it's 2. Yeah. Read from verse 1.
Behold, the Lord's hand is not shortened, that is cannot save.
So the Most High's hand's not short that He can't save. The Most High can reach and snatch up all of us if He wanted to. Right? Go ahead.
Neither is ear heavy, it cannot hear.
Neither is His ear too heavy that He can't hear. So His ear isn't clogged with wax that He don't hear us down here. Go ahead.
But your iniquities have separated.
But what?
But your iniquities have separated.
But our iniquities, our sin, our disobedience to Him have separated us from Him listening to us the way we want. Right? Go ahead.
Between you and your power.
Between what?
Between you and your power.
Between us and our power. So the reason why we're not being snatched up and saved is because our iniquity is separating us and we don't know His name anymore. So what's your name, brother? Chance, right? Chance. So if I'm calling you Deuces, or if I'm calling you Indian man, right? You're not going to hear me, right? If I'm calling you the name that's not yours, you may know that I'm talking to you, but you're like, that's right? So we need to also know what the Most High's true name is, because it's been right here in the book the whole time, and nobody's ever known it. I got to share it with you, because you've been patient and you've been here. Go ahead, finish this real quick.
And your sins have hid His face from you.
And our sins have hid His face from us. So we've been wondering why all these churches are in these neighborhoods, but our people are not being saved. It's like God isn't even here anymore. That's what I used to say. God ain't here. You could go down every street and you can see at least 15 churches. Back in the day when I was growing up, they used to be on the corner bringing the word. Nowadays they're hid inside and nobody can hear the word. At least the people who need to hear it. So the Most High has hid His face for a time from His people due to the sin, and now that we're turning ourselves away from sin, He's revealing things to us. Okay, go ahead. Did you finish that? Go ahead.
That He will not hear.
That He will not hear.
For your hands are defiled with blood.
So our hands are defiled with blood, right?
And your fingers with iniquity.
And our fingers with iniquity. Man, we're full of sin that the Most High can't even be in our presence, because He would kill us all if it was up to the Father. Right? Give me Exodus, please, so I can show you real quick. 3 and 14.
And Moses said unto the Most High, Behold, when I come into the children of Israel, I shall say upon them.
So out of Egypt, Moses was on the mount speaking to the Most High, right? And the children of Israel, and he knew what his people was going to say. So when Moses came to the Most High, he's going to ask him 2 questions, right? Go ahead.
The power of your fathers has sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, What is His name?
Start again.
The the power of your fathers has sent me unto you.
So Moses is saying the power of your fathers had sent me unto you, right?
And they shall say to me,
And they shall say to Moses, what?
what is his name?
What is his name? So what is the name of the power that sent you to me? Right? Sent me to you. Right? Go ahead.
What should I say unto them?
He's going to say, what shall I say to the children of Israel? Right? Two questions.
And the Most High said unto Moses,
Go ahead.
I am that I am.
I am that I am. That's his name. That's who sent him to them. Yes. Go ahead.
And he said,
And he said,
thus shall say to the children of Israel,
you shall say to the children of Israel,
I am has sent me unto you.
I am hath sent me unto you.
And the Most High power said moreover unto Moses, thus shall say unto the children of
You shall say to the children of Israel, what?
the Most High thy power of your fathers,
The power of your fathers. So the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right?
the power of Abraham,
Power of Abraham,
the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob has sent me unto you. This is his name forever,
This is his name for now,
forever,
till tomorrow,
forever,
in 2018,
forever,
in 1965,
forever.
forever, man. So this is his name forever. Keep going.
And this is my memorial unto all generations.
This is my memorial unto all generations. So all generations should know the Most High's name. I am that I am is his name. But we shall call him I am. In the ancient Phoenician Hebrew, AHAYAH, Ashur, AHAYAH is his name. Right? I am that I am. AHAYAH is what we call him. AHAYAH is what, if you think about it, you ever heard the old Native American chants? And they say, AHAYAH, AHAYAH, AHAYAH. They're calling on the Most High through the videos the entire time. And we've never known what the Most High's name was. Everyone else would call him everything else. Jah, Jesus, Yahweh, Yah, everything else, Jehovah, right? Jehovah honestly means, Jah means Lord or God. Hova means perversion, wickedness, calamity, destruction. And it's been injected in the scriptures. So we're intelligent enough to know the injections, right? And know what was there prior. So when we read it, people are right, oh, they've injected certain things. But you have to really study to understand that they didn't change the whole book. They just injected certain things as a snare to confuse you, right? And now when we brought out the true name, it's irrefutable. It's irrefutable. Okay? That's all we got on that, right? That's all we have right there. Anything else you want to say? Come on, my brother.
Go back to John, St. John, the 14th chapter. Chapter 14, verse 18. Understand that my brother, as the brother, eloquently as my brother put it, hey, my brother said it all. John chapter 14, verse 6.
And Yeshaya said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Jump to verse 4.
And whither I go ye now, the way you know. Thomas said unto Yeshaya,
Thomas said unto Yeshaya, which is the name of the Son. Why? Because his attribute, he came to save his people. So because he did that, he got a name based off his attribute.
That's right.
You understand? So Yeshua, save, salvation, deliver, succor, all these words, watch me brother, all these words, right, means this is the attribute of Christ. That's what he did then. This is what he's going to do now when he returns, to deliver his people according to Genesis the 49th chapter. Unto him, which is Christ, shall the gathering of the people be. That's why we call this church the Gathering of Christ Church. GOCC. That's the initials, right? So Thomas asks Christ a question. Read.
we not whither thou goest. How can we know the way?
How can we know the way? You say you're leaving. How can we know the way after you're gone? Read.
Yeshaya said unto him,
YASHAYAH said unto Thomas, read,
I am the way, the truth.
I am the way. That's what I stated earlier, that listen, the Most High sent, you remember when the brother said to you, right, that the Most High stretched forth his hand is not too short to stretch it forth. Well, he sent his right hand in the earth. He stretched his hand forth. It was Christ. Because according to Isaiah 53, it tells you that he's the arm of the Lord. The Most High reached out to his people. And the spirit that was in Christ is still in the earth. And it has woken us up to this truth. That is why you're standing here. Because the voice in your head telling you that, listen, these scriptures is true. The history is true. You understand? So Christ said, listen, I'm the way, the truth, not the lie. The truth. So we're not going to mix lie with truth. Mix light with darkness. Nah, man. Darkness over there. Light over here. When light comes, darkness flee. When the truth comes, it cannot be refuted. Truth is like light. He's the way, the truth. Read.
And the life.
And the life. So he's the life of these dead people. He's the life of the walking dead. We are the walking dead. We don't know who we are. He's the life. Read.
No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
So no man come to the true God but through him. Why? If you're gonna go, right? If you want to go in this building, you have to go through the door, man. Right? If you're going into a bank to get a loan, you have to go through a door. Christ is that door to the kingdom to come. Read.
If you had known me, you have known my Father.
So if you have known me, you have known my Father. What's the spiritual understanding of that? Listen, the exact same way Christ did it is the way the Father would do it. Why? The Father sent him to handle his business. Like you have a business and you send your son to do it just like you. He's the CEO of your company. You understand? So Christ, I just want to leave you with that. And with that we wrap it up. Giving you Christ. He's the arm the Most High stretched out. And the listening ear and the eyes to behold the suffering of the people. Because according to Matthew 9:36, when Christ saw the decadence of the people, the destruction, it said he had compassion on the people. He was sorry for them. They had no shepherd to lead them. That's why he said in the same book that he is the good shepherd. What the shepherds do? Lead the sheep. And he has a staff in his hand with a hook to hook them in if they're going the wrong way. That's the Most High through Christ. So he's the way, the truth, and the life. And brother, we can't go to the Father but by him. We'll leave you with that, my brother. Hey, you can't leave us the phone number or something? Yeah, definitely. I mean, hey, Ricard, yeah.